name is Nicole and I am from Schaumburg Christian School in Illinois, and today I will be performing Karen from Exodus by Leon Uris. Karen clung drowsily to her favorite rag doll, and Daddy knelt before her.
It is going to be a wonderful trip, Karen. Just like going to Baden-Baden.
But I don't want to, Daddy.
Well now, look at all these nice boys and girls going with you.
But I don't want them. I want you, and Mommy, and Hans, and Maximilian, and I want to see my new baby brother.
See here, Karen Clement. My girl doesn't cry.
Yes, Daddy. Daddy, will I see you soon? Will I ever see you again?
We'll all try very hard to see each other. Come on, let's go.
I am sorry, but it is time for departure.
I'll take her on.
No, I am sorry. No parents allowed on the train. Karen stepped forward and took the woman's hand, then stopped and turned around. Here, Daddy, take my dolly. She'll look after you.
Goodbye, my love.
Scores of anguished parents pressed close to the sides of the train, and the departing children pressed against the windows, shouting, blowing kisses, waving, straining for a last glance. Johann Clement stood motionless on the fringe of the crowd. As the last car passed, he looked up and saw Karen standing calmly on the rear platform. She put a hand to her mouth and blew him a kiss. Karen lived in Denmark with the Hansons until the war was over. One night, a few months after the end of the war, she told the Hansons that she was going away to find her parents. But early in her search, Karen discovered that her mother and brothers had been killed in a concentration camp, and there was no news about her father. Karen's work and search led her to a British detention camp on the Isle of Cyprus. Here, Karen met Kitty Fremont, an American nurse who had plunged herself into rehabilitation work with orphans to forget the deaths of her husband and small daughter. To Karen, Kitty was like an older sister, and together they continued the search for Karen's father. Finally, Kitty received the whereabouts of Johann Clement and took Karen to see him under the pretext of a shopping trip. What are we going to do today, Kitty? Oh, a little of this and a little of that. Kitty, it's something about my father, isn't it? Oh, I guess I really knew it all along.
Karen, I didn't mean to deceive you, dear.
What is it? Please tell me, what is it?
He is very, very sick.
I want to see him.
He won't know you, Karen.
My own father not know me? I have waited so long for this day. Ever since I knew the war was finally ending, I have dreamed about it every night, my father and me. See, I knew he was alive, and I just kept going over it and over it.
Karen, stop it! It's not going to be the way you dreamed. You must prepare for something terrible.
Please, take me to him.
Karen, try to remember, no matter what happens, no matter what you see, I'm going to be right there. I'll be with you, Karen. Will you remember that?
Yes, thank you, I'll remember.
The doctor sat before Karen and Kitty. Karen, your father was tortured by the Gestapo. They wanted him to work for them. They finally gave up when he was unable to work for anyone. They sent him to a concentration camp in Czechoslovakia, and your mother and brothers.
I know about them.
He heard about your mother and others first. When he heard about them, on top of all the years of torture, his mind snapped. He suffers from an extreme case of melancholia.
keep what you can remember than to see him now. I have to see him! No matter how hard it is, I have to see him!
Very well. Come with me.
The doctor led them down a long corridor. Karen stepped into a small, cell-like room. A man was sitting in the opposite corner facing the wall. He was barefoot, unshaven, uncombed, and scarred. He had his arms wrapped around his knees as he stared blankly at the opposite wall. This is a mistake. That's not my father. That's not Johann Clement. It can't be. Is it? No, a mistake. A mistake. It has to be. Oh, it's been so long. I can't remember. All I remember is a train and people. Lots of people. And they were all talking of going to Denmark. But I was tired, so very tired. And then we were pulling away. And my daddy was getting smaller and smaller. Daddy? Daddy! It is my father! Daddy, it's me, Karen! I'm your girl! I'm all grown up now, Daddy! Don't you remember me, Daddy? Daddy! Don't you know me, Daddy? He doesn't even know me. My own father doesn't even know me anymore. Please, Daddy, speak to me, I beg you! Why don't you know me? Oh, why doesn't he know me? Daddy! Daddy! The man who was once the living human person of Johann Clement blinked his eyes. An expression of curiosity came over his face as he became aware of someone clutching at him. He held the expression for a tense moment, as if trying in his own way to somehow penetrate the blackness. Then his look lapsed back into lifelessness. The strong arms of the doctor pried Karen loose, and she was gently dragged from the room. The door was closed and was locked, and Johann Clement was gone from